And it's never about our songs or singing our songs. It's about singing songs that point us to the Lord and to Jesus. And this song that we're going to start with is the first song that Colin and I wrote together about 10 years ago now. And it was written on the back of wanting to write songs which teach truth about God. And this song is all about the Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And we saw really that the hymn book of old has got lots of songs which talk about God, Father, Son, God in three persons, the Blessed Trinity. And this song is really our contemporary Trinitarian hymn. If you know it, please do join in. And if you don't know it, please learn it and take it home to share in your congregation as well and sing along as we go through.
Destruction, fix my eyes upon you, Lord. When I wander from your safety, when I wander from your truth, draw me back to my Redeemer through the holy fire of God.
Let's sing together.
Giving glory to the Father, giving glory to the Son, giving glory to the Spirit, the blessed three in one.
Giving glory.
Giving glory to the Father, giving glory to the Son, giving glory to the Spirit, the blessed three.
Thank you very much. One of the best tips that Colin gave me starting out in playing in church and playing in the convention was to, in his many years of wisdom, was to surround yourself with people who are much, much more talented than you are. And that is what we do every year when we come to Keswick. And I just want to point out a few people who are with us tonight. We've got David Abbott over here on saxophones. David is a Keswick veteran. He's been here for many years as well. On acoustic guitar this evening, but also normally on electric guitar, we've got Calvin Hollingworth at the back here. And Calvin does many things musically. He plays in a brilliant band called Treasure Field. Do check them out. They're an excellent band that are really worth listening to, Christian music. New this year, and our most youthful member of the band on cajon, we've let him out of his cage this evening, just for a short amount of time, is Archie Rowell over here on the cajon. The cajon is basically like a drum box, but I like it when somebody plays the cajon because I can tell a really bad joke. And Archie is our cajon artist this evening. Oh, yeah, I know. It doesn't get any better than that, sorry. And wonderfully, we've got Catherine Doer and Sally Jackman on singing as well with us this evening, and they're doing a wonderful job. Give them a round of applause.
Great. Well, this next song is for those who are Scots. Oh, that's what I was hoping. That's what I was hoping. How many of you know "Will Ye No Come Back Again"? Okay. It's actually a Jacobite song, but I thought it's such a beautiful melody. My brother used to play still does play the bagpipes, and I thought that would really make a good hymn. Nobody's done it yet, till now. So, and just like the bagpipes, you usually start off with one pipe, and then you add the pipes. Catherine's going to start singing. She's not a bagpipe, but she is going to lead in this one. It is slightly different melody from the original tune, but you'll get the gist of it. And do feel free to join in as we hear the other drones of the other voices.
The one in whom
A wonderful thing happens, doesn't it, when we sing? We sing to remind one another about the truths about God. We remind one another who He is. And Vaughan Roberts uses this lovely little illustration that it's almost like when we're singing, we hold out a little mirror. And the little mirror that we have, each one of us, is reflecting something about the Lord back to Himself. And as we do that, it's a wonderful thing in a gathered congregation like this. And I wouldn't encourage you all to do this at once, but sometimes it's really lovely to stop singing in a congregation like this and to listen to many, many voices singing back to yourself truths about the Lord. And that is a wonderful thing. Don't do it all at once. But that is a really lovely thing to do, and a song like that helps us and serves us in that way. The next song we're going to do is a modernization of an old hymn, and it's great to be able to share and breathe some life into some songs of old for a new generation. And this one's called "Now Thank We All Our God," and it's just a new melody that we set to that a few years ago. And this was written by a German pastor called Martin Ringkart, and it was written in the 17th century during the 30 Years' War. And during that time, many people in this pastor's parish, in his community, lost their lives through plague, disease, poverty. And in 1637, in that 1 year alone, picture this, take this as a picture of pastoral ministry. In that 1 year, he took 4,000 funerals in his church, including his wife's. And so this song was birthed out of that place, that even in that place of sorrow, in that place of pain, he could find reasons to thank and to praise God even there. And I think we're just astonished by that. I think it was written initially as a prayer before meals, but also it spread into a wider sphere. And maybe there are things in your life you can think that you are thankful for, even in the midst of trouble, in the midst of sorrows even, that there are many things to be thankful for.
Shall be evermore.
It's been said a few times this week already. Sometimes life is really, really hard. And some of our songs kind of reflect something of that. Even in the last song that we've just been singing, in the midst of suffering, there are still reasons to thank the Lord. This is a song which is more of a reflective piece, which was inspired really by a friend who preached on this theme of suffering. And there was a little line he said that even in the ashes, and that there are diamonds, that there are blessings of God glistening like diamonds in the ashes. I just thought that was a beautiful image of what it's like to look for those blessings in our life, sometimes which we might feel are hard to find.
How great are the blessings you have given, glistening like diamonds in the ashes. A million mercies God has poured into our lives. You are good, so good. Through the trial, through the storm, joy or sorrow, fear or scorn, reaching out your everlasting arm with your grace, you shower us with grace. Of the trial we will sing, remembering the light which you have given. Illuminate our path and lead us on in your delight. You are kind to us, and through the trial, sorrow, fear or scorn, reaching out your everlasting arm with your grace, you shower us with grace. In every valley, through every storm, the rock of ages stands secure. Our God is faithful, He never fails us. His will and purpose will endure. Storm, the rock of ages stands secure. Our God is faithful, He never fails us. His will and purpose will endure. Through the trial, shower us with grace. Through the trial, through the storm, joy or sorrow, fear or scorn, reaching out your everlasting arm
Phil has got a fantastic voice, a fantastic ability on the piano. And to be honest with you, if he didn't come, I wouldn't come. Because he's just so brilliant. And he was the guy that enabled me to feel, yeah, I think I could probably come to Keswick. Well, that's if Keswick asked me. I mean, I can't just pitch up. But it's not quite like that. It's not a free-for-all, by the way. But Phil has been a real blessing to us, as has Catherine's been with us for about 10 years. And it's lovely having the new guys with us for this year as well. It's a real blessing. This next song that we're going to do, we did a couple of nights ago. And because the theme was on longing, we thought we'd just write something that was on that theme of longing. So this one's called "You're the Treasure That I Seek, the Longing of My Soul."
Treasure that I seek, a pearl of greatest price, no other can compare, the finest in my sight. You are the one, the longing of my soul. You are the well that never tries, the bids the thirsty come, refreshing weary souls with water from above. You are the one, the longing of my soul. You are the morning star, outshining all the hosts of heaven. You are the great I am, so worthy of my heart's devotion. You are the Lord, the longing of my soul. You are the stronghold of my life, the rock on which I stand, unshakable and sure. All other ground is sand. You are the Lord, the longing of my soul. You are the holy Lamb of God, who bears away my sin. You beckon me to come, that you might dwell within. You are the one, the longing of my soul. You are the morning star, outshining all the hosts of heaven. You are the great I am, so worthy of my heart's devotion. You
few people have been asking us, how do we get hold of your music? Are we able to take some of your songs home to do in our churches or to listen to and enjoy? And we're really thankful to the guys at Essential Christian for really putting together for us a CD and a songbook of 12 of our hymns, which we've recorded here at Keswick over the years, which you can take home and use in your church. It's called the Hymn Project. We have an anchor. And CDs will be available too to buy, and the songbook as well, with 12 of the full piano sheet music for some of our loved hymns that we do here at Keswick. And that We Have an Anchor song was based on a song which we recorded a few years ago, which was a reworking of that Boys Brigade hymn. I grew up in the Boys Brigade. Anybody else here from the Boys Brigade? Yeah, a few hands, great. Did me well. I'm still marching. The Boys Brigade hymn, We Have an Anchor, and it has that original chorus, and we just added a slightly different verse melody to it as well. We're going to sing that one now. It'd be great if you could join in, especially on that chorus, which is a familiar melody. Unfold their wings of strife when the storm tides lift and the cables strain. Will your anchor drift or firm remain? We have an anchor that keeps the soul steadfast and sure while the billows roll. Fastened to the rock which cannot move. Grounded firm and deep in the Savior's love. Held secure by faith in the Savior's hands, shielded by His grace, on Christ we stand. He is Lord of all, we should never doubt. Through uncertain times, He is solid ground. We have an anchor that keeps us all steadfast and sure while the billows roll. Fastened to the rock which cannot move. Grounded firm and deep in the Savior's love. You have carried us through the raging sea, in the fire and flood. We stand redeemed through the storms of life. You will not let go. This our confidence that our anchor holds. We have an anchor that keeps us all steadfast and sure while the billows roll. Fastened to the rock which cannot move. Grounded firm and deep
the Savior's love.
Sometimes when you tamper with hymns that are well loved, people get a little bit upset about that. So please forgive us. But we're not the first to do it. Rock of Ages, Augustus Toplady. The tune that the Americans sing was written 70 years after the words. The tune that we sing, because we didn't like their tune, was written 30 years after that. Tinkering and tampering was still going on. So I thought I'd add my little bit. So this is Rock of Ages. I might just start with the way that I can remember it. It does help.
Rock of Ages, cleft for me. Let me hide myself in thee. Let the water and the blood from your wounded side which flowed be for sin the double cure. Save from wrath and make me pure. Cleanse from guilt and cleanse from sin. White as snow and pure within. Rock of Ages, cleft for me. Let me hide myself in thee. Rock of Ages, cleft for me. Let me hide myself in thee. Nothing in my hands I bring, simply to the cross I cling. Naked come to you for dress, helpless look to you for grace. Found I to the fountain fly, wash me, Savior, or I die. All my works could not atone. You must save, and you alone. Rock of Ages, cleft for me. Let me hide myself in thee. Rock of Ages, cleft for me. Let me hide myself in thee. While I draw this breathing breath, when my eyes shall close in death, when I soar to worlds unknown, see you on your judgment throne, then my eyes shall see the King and the glories of his hand. There behold you face to face, safe forever by your grace. Rock of Ages, cleft for me. myself in thee. Rock of ages, cleft for me. Let me hide myself in thee. Then my eyes shall see the King and the glories of his hand. There behold you face to face, saved forever by your grace. Rock of ages, cleft for me. Let me hide myself in thee. Rock of ages, cleft for me. Let me hide myself in thee.
This next song was written just after the tragedies that we saw on television from Grenfell Tower, then those planes going down, and people will come up to you and say, how can God allow this? How can God allow that? And even Christians, as Christians, we can sometimes doubt the goodness of God, and we find it the hardest thing to always comprehend. And the only thing that kept people in the Bible going was knowing that there was a greater day yet to come. Every single one of us has a pool of tears. Every single one. But we know a day is coming when God wipes away the tears and all is restored to the beauty that he desired it and designed it to be. And so this song was birthed out of that. It's called A Day Will Dawn.
God, you are my God, I need not fear. When the evil day draws close to me, you are closer still. In the day of trouble, be my shield. Refuge for my soul when hope is gone, you will dry each tear. A day will dawn like morning sun, when Christ shall pierce the greatest darkness in this world. When glory breaks upon that day, my heart is healed from every wound this earth has made. When Christ shall come, God, you are my God, I trust in you. In barren times my soul will find streams of mercy flow. In the darkest valley where I tread, even there I find your hand in mine. Still I'm being led. The day will dawn like morning sun, when Christ shall pierce the greatest darkness in this world. When glory breaks upon that day, my heart is healed from every wound this earth has made. When Christ shall come. God, you have declared a day will come when the saints are raised and clothed with grace in garments from the sun. I will take my place around your throne. I will bow in awe, all questions gone, and worship you alone. The day will dawn like morning sun, when Christ shall pierce the greatest darkness in this world. When glory breaks upon that day, my heart is healed from every wound this earth has made. The day will dawn like morning sun, when Christ shall pierce the greatest darkness of this world. When glory breaks upon that day, my heart is healed from every wound this earth has made. And forever I will worship you with praise. And forever I will worship you with praise when Christ shall come.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed yourselves. We've got time for really one more song, which really is requiring of some congregational participation. It's the song called "There Is Power in the Blood." Now, I'm very careful how I say that. If there's any Northern Irish people, that word "power" is not the way I was brought up to say the word. It was "par," okay? And the exciting thing about this song is that you get to say both in the chorus. There is power, power, wonder-working par, okay? It's a bilingual song in that sense. So why don't we, shall we stand up and sing this one? Shall we rise to our feet so we're ready to sing? And sing this heartily as we close our time together, remembering the power in the blood of the Lamb.
Let you be free from your burden of sin. much whiter than snow. There's power in the blood, power in the blood. Sin stains are lost in its life-giving flow. There's wonderful power in the blood. There is power, power, wonder-working power in the blood of the Lamb. There is power, power, wonder-working power in the precious blood of the Lamb. Would you do service for Jesus, your King? There's power in the blood, power in the blood. Would you live daily His praises to sing? There's wonderful power in the blood. There is power, power, wonder-working power in the blood of the Lamb. There is power, power, wonder-working power in the precious blood of the Lamb. There's power. There is power, power, wonder-working power in the blood of the Lamb. There is power, power, wonder-working power in the precious blood of the Lamb. One more time. There is power, power, wonder-working power in the blood of the Lamb. There is power, power, wonder-working power in the precious blood of the
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. They've got signs saying, please leave quietly. I think we've created enough noise in the neighborhood. So if we just gently sort of tiptoe out and get yourself some chips.